Play an MMORPG in pixel art style is always giving a very good vibes and experience. This kind of graphic is pretty aesthetic and has its own style to attract the player to play. Some of the game I will mention is very good to anticipate and most of it has been released globally. Remember to like this video and please enjoy the video of Top 12 Best Pixel Art MMORPG Games for Android and iOS 2026 Must Watch. You guys can support this channel by sending a super thanks, and our team will appreciate that. Ragnarok Online 3. This game will make you nostalgic because the developer makes the exact gameplay as the original content, but the pixel art visual has crafted, making it has a much better visual and graphic. We will play in the fantasy world where we explore the Midgard area. A lot of job selection can be played and we can transform into a stronger character build. Every time we gain a new level, then we can place the status point to make your own character's specialty even stronger. It's all good for PvP and PvE, even the game will represent a real-time war in a huge scale of war between guild versus guild or make a team up to fight against the world boss dungeon. The social interaction will take a crucial part along the adventure. We can sell some items on the vendor or open a stall and trade your goods. These all features will create a huge microtransaction features. The game's weather can be changed and it looks so dynamic. It will create a live environment experience with a lot of attention to detail. The combat mechanism is a tap and click base. PC and mobile will be available to enjoy the best MMORPG pixel art game 2026, Ragnarok Online 3 Android. Trickster M. The reason why I'm still putting this game on this list is because I'm still having a huge expectation if this game will release on the mobile platform. I remember how this game was released on the mobile before, but it's only available in a certain country, which is in Korea. It is made by the most popular games company, which is NCSoft, and it was an IP of Trickster Online on the PC platform before. I guarantee once it releases globally for mobile, then it will wipe any pixel art MMORPGs nowadays. This game has a huge open world concept where the grinding and farming is the main indicator of gameplay we should always do. We can do so many things, especially do a drill system to obtain a hidden treasure chest of artifact, item, rare and goods. PvE and PvP content are available to participate. The game's world can be changed dynamically, the weather and the times. It will give you a realistic experience. Overall, it has a great graphic and visual that looks so aesthetic with a fun ambience and humor base. Joining a guild will give an extra happiness to share with each other. Dungeon Cross Relic Hunter. This is a new brand of pixel art game that has an enhancement visual into 2.5D graphic level. The game will focus on the exploration to find the hidden artifact, and surely the auto combat features will help you to find it becomes much easier. The main storyline is about a hero who tries to defeat the witch who tries to conquer the world. Pick your own favorite hero based on your own playstyle. Be wise on selecting your classes because it will make a different based on your combat style. Paladin, Mage, Berserker, Assassin and Archer will be an option. If you want to play the game manually, then it will make your combat result more effective. The skill selection and how we can match the timing to give a precision area to hit will make a crucial effect at the end. Best graphic game pixel art MMORPG games for Android and iOS 2026. Heartwood Online. I am sure everyone would love to see this game. It's becoming one of the best new MMORPG pixel art games on mobile that has a very attractive gameplay at all. The game will represent so much live skill activity we actually can do, like chopping the tree, mining, fishing and even crafting your own equipment like armor or weapons. Basically, this game is kind of a sandbox base where we should keep grinding and farming for some material need for the crafting. The game really represents a great visual as a mobile game, even if it's playable on PC that has a similar quality. The developer did a great job on optimizing it on mobile. The game's combat mechanism are tap and click based. We should lock the target by come closer and tap the skill for releasing it. The road chat message is pretty active. Even most of the veteran players are pretty kind on answering any newbie question on the chat menu. This game has the best community game MMORPG I have ever seen. Once you play on the night, then a lot of players will actively playing it. Best new MMORPG pixel art game 2026 for mobile. Elemental MMORPG 2D. The first impression I show of this game is pretty good. I don't even believe if this game has a very interesting design and visual. Unfortunately, it comes with a portrait perspective, which is the main reason why the player doesn't want to try it. I really hope the developer will make it becomes a landscape mode, and I will guarantee it will have much more active player then. But of course, it depends on someone's taste. The main gameplay is pretty simple because we can move the hero just by tapping the area that would like to reach. Even it will run automatically once we are in the combat, but we need to tap the skill manually. The game has a huge open world where we can explore freely and anytime. Every single area will be guarded by a different kind of monster with a variety of levels, so we need to be wise in selecting the grinding area to improve your experience, or EXP. Elemental MMORPG 2D is the best pixel art game MMO on mobile in 2026 once it has the landscape version. The World of Magic Emo TWOM. This game is developed by Come To Us, and I love the game. It just reminds me of a classic MMO with a pixel art style. Surprisingly, the game gets so much update and improvement by the graphic and visual. Now it's the second version of TWOM, and I see a huge progress from the animation is way smoother, and how they are try combining a 2.5D as the background and also the pixel art. I would love to play it again once the new server comes. This is one of the best MMORPG pixel art games that has been released globally. Even the player who's actively playing it always stay consistent. It's because the developer did a great job on maintaining the server number. Some classes can be picked at the earliest game: Warrior, Magician, Ranger, and Berserker. It has a huge world combat between two factions that make the PvP look way more attractive. The gameplay is focused on the grinding and how we can solve a simple side quest by asking the random NPC. The game's combat mechanism is absolutely impressed me. It looks so smooth and on point, especially when we attack the enemy. It has a simple and easy to learn game. Curse of Aros. As my prediction, this game stays forever. I see a consistent number of players who keep playing this game every day. It's because this game gets everything that pixel MMO should have. For example, the features it's pretty rich. The player can do a trade system, survival skill, and also are available to gather some wood and mining. And the combat looks so fair and balanced. I love how the hero can easily get the enemies drop items or gear, which I mean it's kind of a no pay to win MMORPG games pixel art in 2026. The game will have a retro style that's combining on exploration, real-time combat, and also how we can interact in a socialize in the fantasy world. We don't have to worry about finding the best spot for grinding because the number of the monster respawn is pretty much. Some areas are quite dangerous to explore because it has the PvP content where the player can do a free kill. Warspear Online. This is what I call with old but gold. Even the game has been exist for more than a decade, but the game's quality is impressive, and it is still worthy and playable nowadays. It has a huge world and is rich in content we can experience. We'll play in a world that is called with Ragnarok, that's full of monsters and also a secret to explore. Can you imagine how many classes it has? Each of the factions will have different classes. Right now we can pick up to 4 factions, and the total of the classes we can select is more than 20, which is pretty much. Gear your hero and customize your hero that will attract the other player. Unfortunately, the game is getting forgotten. I think the developer need to update or even make a remake to create a refreshing look by the visual, graphic, and also the gameplay. If you love to play a PvP content, surely Warspear Online is the answer. Fighting to another faction will boost your adrenaline. I wonder if it has a joypad as a new controller, rather than just a tap and click base. Best pixel art MMORPG games 2026. Born Again. I love how kind of all the players are playing it. Even on my first 5 minutes of play, I have a great experience of kindness by the other player. Some player just gave me a free sword through trading. So this game is a really good game to play if you love a grinding base, because the player can enjoy a trading features. I think it's pretty hidden. Not many YouTubers or players are talking about it. In fact, the game are really promising with a great combat action. We can release the skill by targeting the enemy, use the jumping action to dodge, and release the grenade to do explosive damage in a bigger area. Customize your hero by gearing up the armor and weapon, and the hero's appearance will adjust by itself. Ghost M Global. This game is a new MMORPG pixel art game that has a very unique perspective, which is a side-scrolling base. I think this kind of point of view is pretty rare to find for any player to love it. Even it's a pixel art style, but we can connect it within a different platform for PC and mobile. We can move forward, backwards, and also going up and going down is possible to reach a different terrain. There is a lot of side quests you guys can accept at the same time, so we'll get our reward faster and bigger. The best features about it is the hero can summon a spirit. He is pretty useful to increase your combat power, even if he can help us to fight against the monster side by side. It has a marketplace features for the player to do a transaction, like selling the gear or buying any goods. Beat Heroes Quest. Not many MMORPGs come with a turn-based battle, and I think this game is the only pixel art game that has this gameplay. Even on the Play Store it get a weird score, but for me it's a pretty good to play, but I think the gameplay runs quite slow. There is 3 main points we need to always do, which are looting, crafting, and upgrading. A lot of gear and weapon can be gathered. Some crafting system will help you a lot on modifying your gear. Some players love to enjoy the arena and raid dungeon, which is quite simple with a casual combat battle. We just need to hit the enemy to recharge the energy before we launch the combat. Pixel Art Online 2D. Does anyone know this game? Because this game is pretty hidden, not many players are talking about it. Even the player is not so much on trying it. The developer need to add some more features, which is a trading system, and also the PvP should be their main focus. Honestly, my own experience for my first impression does not really touch on me, because it is not smooth enough. Even as a newbie will not find any mission or tutorial to let the player know about what they do. But surely, this game is worth playing. Remember to like this video and see you on the next list. Thanks.